On August 4th, Hal Turner and his friends had their fun in the sun in Kalamazoo, Michigan. After weeks and weeks of elaborate planning and invites, Hal took the show on the road with a handful of ideologically mismatched individuals. White nationalist Paul Geller, Christian identity theologian James Wickstrom, and neo-Nazi Alex Linder were only able to muster a smattering of followers as they stood behind bars and police protection. As a matter of fact, Hal Turner was speaking as everyone was leaving. The cost to Kalamazoo taxpayers? $150,000. Anti-racist Michigan Against White Power did a superb job of protesting, but they weren't alone. Bill White of the American National Socialist Workers' Party decided to get in on the action. However, since this was Hal Turner's rally, White was not about to stand beside his nemesis. Joined by Michigan State Leader Neil Joitke, Bill White positioned himself outside of the fence and tried to incite trouble in the anti-ranks. But even Bill White was no match for one of the police horses. Bill's foot was stomped on, and he was blindsided by the rump end of the beast. A few skinheads of the National Socialist movement were present, but try as he might, White failed to get them to confront him. All in all, the action was definitely away from the podium. Once again, Hal Turner was the talk of the racist world as he claimed on his radio show that he had created the devastating earthquake in Peru. He did this in retaliation, he said, for a Peruvian who killed African Americans in New York. The next outrage for Turner was when he placed a picture of an FBI bugging device on his website and claimed that he had found it in his house while changing a ceiling fan. The device was one that was seen in the movie Enemy of the State. Morris Dees, head and founder of the Southern Poverty Law Center, went on a fundraising campaign after the center had been the recipient of numerous threats to both life and property. Unfortunately, the Gady twins, Lynx and Lamb, made the news again this month as a documentary following them and their family through the better part of a year was unveiled. The film was most disturbing as it showed the controlling nature of their mother, April Gady, and depicted her teaching the Aryan alphabet to their younger sibling, Dresden. In the film, the twins were shown talking to convicted murderer and now deceased member of the Order, David Lane, on the telephone. In one chilling moment, Lane referred to the girls as grown and as his sweetheart fantasy. In his words, "After all, I am a man." In Toledo, Ohio, a progressive group attempted to hold a rally against racism in a local park. As the gathering got underway, the mayor of Toledo ordered the park closed, and all participants were told to leave. In Calgary, Canada, an anti-racist rally was interrupted by a white supremacist group calling themselves the Aryan Guard. They waved black-white pride banners and, of all things, the Confederate flag. There was trouble again in Germany this month. A mob shouting racial insults attacked 8 Indians at a town fair in Muglin, which is in East Germany. They then chased the Indians and besieged them inside a pizzeria until they were rescued by police. It's said that around 70 police were required to disperse the mob of 50 people, which gathered after revelers shouted abuse and threw bottles at the Indians during the town fair. The attack has triggered renewed calls for a ban on the far-right National Democratic Party of Germany. But the NPD, which has received an unprecedented amount of money in public funds last year, is protected by legal obstacles to outlawing political parties. The leader of the National Democratic Party of Germany, Udo Voigt, wants to build a new Reich chancellery on the site of Berlin's Holocaust Memorial. And last week he said that Adolf Hitler's deputy in the Nazi Party, the late Rudolf Hess, should be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. A former Oklahoma State University wrestler is claiming that he is the victim of racism. After being accused of rape, Clay Cara was kicked off the wrestling team. He believes that this is racial discrimination because Oklahoma State University linebacker Chris Collins, who is black, also has sexual charges against him, but has been allowed to remain on the football team. Michael Allen Lamb is the first member of the gang Public Enemy No. 1 to undergo a death penalty trial. He, along with Jacob Rump, were found guilty of the slaying of Scott Miller, shooting an Anaheim police officer, and trying to murder a fellow inmate. Billy Joe Johnson testified that he, not the defendants, had committed the murder, but his testimony was quickly disproven, and he was later arrested and is now serving 45 years to life for beating a man with a hammer. Public Enemy No. 1 is a subsidiary of the Aryan Brotherhood in California. Jeremiah Vaughn Gregory has been sentenced to 20 years in prison on top of the 20 years he was already serving. The 51-year-old Gregory claims to be a member of the Order, an element of the Aryan nation, and said that he was trying to save the United States from the influence of minorities and immigrants by funding an overthrow of the government as he was engaged in a racial holy war. It took jurors 12 minutes to convict him, and when he appeared for sentencing, he told the judge, "You have turned this courtroom into a cesspool. What has occurred in this courtroom has been a travesty of justice. I want you to be assured that there will be retribution." And he added that he would like to be the one to visit revenge on your doorstep, but had to leave that to others. As the anti-immigration rhetoric becomes more and more strident in its racism, even the halls of parochial schools are not immune. In a classroom at Holy Family High School in Broomfield, Colorado, a simple question was asked: why is it important for students to learn Spanish? This turned into an opportunity for an immigration discussion and an opportunity for one student to shout "white power," and two Hispanic students, who were horrified, asked permission to leave. It seems that no one is immune to the passion surrounding the national immigration debate. This has been the Month in Review for August in the year 2007. Please join us at citizensagainst.hate.com and eyeonhate.com, and tune in to Eye on Hate Radio with Floyd Cochran and Cold Shot with Nicole Nichols weekly at Eye on Hate Radio Network. Together, we are making a difference and keeping the dream alive.